compute by hand the opposite of -4. So when we look at this problem, we want to think about the negative in front, meaning the opposite of, not minus or not negative, but opposite of. And the negative that's in there with the 4 is telling us that we want the opposite of -4. So if we take a look at the number line, we can certainly see that if I start at -4 and I want to find the opposite of that, I want to go to the opposite side of 0, that same distance, and so that would take me to +4. So the opposite of -4 is +4, or we could just write 4, because if we don't show a sign in front of the number, we understand that it's going to be positive. Now in the next example, we want to compute by hand the opposite of -3. So now we're in a situation where we've got a couple of double negatives going on here. So the first sign out front is giving us the first opposite. The next sign that we see is talking about the next opposite. And then again, we have the negative that's in there with the 3 telling us that that's going to be -3 where we want to start. So the opposite of the opposite, it's much like double negatives in an English class. If we take the opposite of the opposite, it gets us right back to where we started from. So if we were to think about this the same way we thought about the last example, we could think about, well, I start at -3, and I take its opposite, which just takes me up to +3. But then I need to go and turn around and take the opposite of that. And so that's going to take me right back to where I started at -3 again. So the opposite of -3 takes me right back to -3, or just -3.